Hello, everyone, and welcome to Go Watch a Movie, episode 81. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Thank you for joining in on the conversation. Today, the Go Watch a Movie boys tackle their biggest movie yet, The Unicorn Store, starring Brie Larson, Samuel L. Jackson. But we're going to get into that here later. Before we do, though, we're going to get into a little bit of entertainment news. So the Russo brothers, the saviors of Marvel, the big of course, who write a lot of the Avengers movies. They are developing a Stan Lee documentary, and I gotta say, good. I'm glad somebody's doing it. Makes me happy because I'm surprised we didn't get like 30 when he passed away. You know, normally that happens fairly quickly when someone dies. The biopics and docs on their life start coming out, or even like the, I guess, negative things start coming out as well.
Correct.
But we got nothing on him. Well, I mean,
I wonder if he had all that tied up legally, so like they couldn't or something, and maybe only like one company had the rights to it, or
that's very, very possible. Because sad to say, his life was like controlled big time by the time he passed. But we'll get to see some of that. Not a lot of news today. Tom Holland, Spider-Man himself. I love him as Spider-Man. Most people do as well. He's hilarious to watch in interviews. He's good at spoiling stuff. But apparently a film he was working on was so bad that it was deemed unreleasable. Let's see here. I don't know what like why wouldn't at some point they would just stop and say, well, what are we doing here? Let's work on this. It was called Chaos Walking. So this is like a teen sci-fi drama, and it was Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley, and Mads Mikkelsen, actually. So a big cast, but something went wrong, and it was declared unreleasable.
Usually they usually do anyway, just to try to make some of the money back and hopes they can make some of the money back. At
least straight to DVD or something. Like
that's surprising. I mean, that makes me want to watch it.
I kind of want to see it too, like, because that cast is pretty damn good.
How bad could it be? I mean, we've seen The Room.
Hi, Tommy. But yeah, that'll bring us to trailers. You first or me?
I'll go.
All right.
I got a couple for you. The big one, the first one is Gemini Man.
Oh, you mortal enemy!
I like Will Smith. I mean, I don't love him, but I don't love him. I like him.
Okay.
Most of his movies I've enjoyed, but this is you're going to get two Will Smiths in one movie.
Yes, a young one and an old one.
And the young one looks decent. I mean, the CG, whatever they're doing, whatever they're using, looks good. So I'm just excited to be able to see two Will Smiths. What's that?
Did you think Looper at all?
Now that you said it, yes, but not while I was watching the trailer. I was too shocked from seeing two Will Smiths. I was like, what? There's two of them? Like, that was just, I mean, I don't even have to go over the story. I just want to see two Will Smiths.
Yeah.
But I guess he's like I don't want to say super soldier, but he's like the best of the best.
Yes.
And then
there's a clone in there.
20 some years ago, they got some of his DNA they cloned him to try. I don't know if they cloned him because they just wanted to make a super soldier, or if they wanted to take him out. Couldn't really gather that from the trailer because I was still in shock from seeing two Will Smiths. But basically, it's Will Smith versus Will Smith, the younger version of the super soldier versus the older, wiser version of the same super guy, and then it's they clash, and then I'm not sure what. I'm sure there's going to be some moral thing that they're going to try to run down, that to try to be don't do this or don't do that, based on just because you're a clone doesn't mean you don't have feelings or you can't still become as good as the other one or something. I'm sure they're going to do that, but I don't really care. I just want to see two Will Smiths fight.
Do a battle, yeah.
Yeah. And then my next
and it's directed by the great Ang Lee, so can't leave that out.
It should be good. It should be fun to watch for multiple reasons, so I'm kind of excited about that one.
You think this will bring him back? Because he kind of has fallen from cinematic grace.
Just because he's not turning them out like clockwork like he used to, doesn't.
And they're not performing like he was like blockbuster king.
That happens to all the greats fall eventually, but that doesn't mean that they still aren't great in their own.
Oh yeah. I know I love him. I'm so shocked and amazed to hear him on your list. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. My next one is called Only Mine, and it's basically there's this cop. This is my normal. I guess this is my normal movie, but not really my normal movie that I go see. But there's a cop. He pulls over this girl. I don't know if she was speeding or something, and he's like, "Well, I'm going to give you a warning this time." She's like, "Oh, thanks, blah blah blah. I work at this diner, blah blah blah." So he shows up at the diner, which is a little creepy. But you're thinking, okay, it's not that weird, he's got to eat. He talks to the girl for a little while, and I guess they start to develop a relationship. But he just keeps popping up everywhere. So there's he just pops up in her house. At one point, she comes home and he's just in there, and she's like, "What are you doing there?" He's like, "Oh, I just want to make sure you're okay." Like, how did he get in the house? He pops up at her work. She pops up everywhere she's at. She just pops up, and he just becomes creepy and weird. And I guess he's like the obsessive, crazy boyfriend, but he's a cop too, so he's got that as a shield. And then I guess he comes up missing somehow, but she's still alive. They kind of hint at, and then there's an investigation of what happened to her, and everybody's kind of pointing the finger at him, but he's like, "I didn't do it," and he's like this really nice cop, so nobody thinks he did it, except for just one other investigator that comes into the picture. So it's just weird, kind of not my normal type of, but for some reason this trailer just looked interesting to me, and I kind of liked how he kept popping up everywhere because it freaked me out. I'm like, why is this guy in her house all of a sudden? It's just, and nobody could do anything about it because he's a cop.
Yeah. Huh. And what was it called again?
Only Mine.
Only Mine. Mind or mine?
Mine. M-I-N-E. Yep. Gotcha.
Well, mine's going to be a little off the beaten path. I normally don't go off the beaten path. I like to keep things big budget. But today, a couple of days ago, I saw a trailer that I just could not get out of my head. I couldn't shake it. It was just there and wouldn't leave. And I'm sure when you guys see it, it'll be the same. It looks like below B movie.
Oh my goodness.
Like a Z movie. But okay. The Velocipastor. A man of the cloth. So this is a story about a priest who is a were-raptor.
You don't have to say anything else. I'm seeing it.
He can transform into a velociraptor, into Velocipastor. Oh my gosh, the amount of cheesy horribleness that this trailer oozes.
Does this look worse than that Werecop movie?
Yes. Yeah. I'll put up the synopsis on this one because forget werewolves. A troubled priest finds the way after being a were-raptor. You can't make this stuff up, but somebody did. A priest on a mission to clean up the streets. A dinosaur, ninjas, blood, and gore. What more could you want? Oh, So that trailer is not up on Go Watch the Movie yet, but I'm going to put it up on there. You may change your mind after you see the trailer for it, sir.
Not possible. That just sounds too good.
All right. So we are going to dive now into the 2019 comedy. Yeah, comedy.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. It's like
Unicorn. After, and this is starring Brie Larson, Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury, and Captain Marvel together again. Let's see here, directed by Brie Larson. After failing out of art school and taking a humdrum office job, a whimsical painter gets a chance to fulfill her lifelong dream of adopting a unicorn. I mean, where do you go?
There you go.
I mean, and that's pretty much the story. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this and ask this, I guess. I guess it's a question. I don't know. So I want to meet, it's not a question. I want to meet Brie Larson because she just seems angry when she's acting. Like she had some adorable, cutesy moments, but most of the time she just like seems pissed off. And I don't think this role like asked for that. Basically, that character like was supposed to be this whimsical little Luna Lovegood-ish character, but she just came off kind of angry to me. I don't know. Do
you think she was angry in Captain Marvel, or do you think she did like
Captain Marvel? She seemed pissed the whole time. Like, I mean, I don't know. And not that she's bad at what she does. Let's just. I want to see if that's really her personality, like out in a normal, setting. I guess I'm just asking Brie on the date because I want to get to know her. Honestly, though, this film, ironically, this reminds me of, not reminds me, this seems like, so Robert suggested a movie to me like a little bit before I watched this called Eagle versus Shark. And it was a very low budget Napoleon Dynamite-ish type of movie. This seemed like it was trying to be one of those movies with a big budget. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on this, sir?
I do have some similar opinions as you do. I felt like the way she, like, I didn't think she was a likable character. I'll just put it that way.
And she was supposed to be, right? Like,
but the message in this movie is great. I love the message. I thought that was awesome. But her as the the person that's given us that message, that we're supposed to be living or experiencing this journey with her, I just didn't feel like she was likable. It was like you said, she seemed angry and she was whining a lot about growing up. And I don't think she was old. Like, I could see if she was like 40 and she was, and then I'd be like, yes, whine all you want to, but you're like a 20-something-year-old. So I don't feel like you're old enough to be complaining about having to grow up. That makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but it just didn't seem like there's something off about that part of it. Mm-hmm. Like, now there's other parts of it that I absolutely loved, but that specific part of it, I just thought maybe if she was older, like the lady at the, I'm gonna jump way to the end of the movie, like the lady that was crying, and I was going to go into the store after her.
Yeah, she fit.
She seemed a little bit older. Mm-hmm. Not that you have to be older to be going through something, but she fit the bill more for some reason. Yeah. But Brie felt like she just, okay, you're out of school, and you're still in your early 20s, and you have to go home to live with your parents. That's not that bad. Yeah, I would expect the person that gets the invite to go to that store would be on their last leg. Like, they really, really need some help. But I didn't really feel like she needed help. She was just, depressed for a second, and she decided to sit on the couch and eat a bunch of junk food and watch bad TV all day. I mean, that's something that happens when you're in your 20s. You do that. Yeah. You're not supposed to succeed at everything.
Over and over again.
So for that invite to come to her at that point in time in her life, unless in like a month she was going to commit suicide or something, then definitely. But they didn't imply that.
Unicorn Store Part 2.
So I don't know. I just didn't feel like her character fit the theme of what the movie was going for.
Because you're surrounded by all these whimsical, like crazy, like characters that don't fit the norm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she was supposed to be even more so than them, but she didn't quite come off that way. Yeah. I don't know, like, because her parents are just like whack jobs.
Yeah, they're completely out there. And I love that Joan Cusack was in there, because I haven't seen her in a movie in a while.
And she's hilarious.
She's good. I like that. But yeah, it was just weird to me. Like, she was like the one part that didn't fit for me. I even liked her boss until the very end. And
that guy's good.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Even the person that from the hardware store that befriends her, he was great. His performances
Virgil is my favorite character.
Yeah, his performances were great. His acting was awesome. Mm-hmm. He fit the part perfectly. Like, it was a perfect cast.
Don't all those characters seem like they would fit in Eagle versus Shark?
I don't know. That movie is pretty epic. If you guys have not seen Eagle versus Shark, we should just turn this into an Eagle versus Shark. Because that movie is so freaking good to me. It's ridiculous. It's so charming. But anyway, I liked all the supporting characters. I liked more than the main character.
Yeah,
which is odd to say. I don't know about Samuel L. Jackson's character. I thought it was funny how he was kind of whimsical too. I don't know if he was like supposed to mirror her inner person or something. That was like sometimes whimsical and crazy, because he looked like a weird Christmas tree.
That makes sense when now that you're saying that
thing, but then he was like, he kind of got angry, and I kind of wanted him to be like, say what again? Because he was like, he just kind of went back and forth from that like happy to like,
do you want a unicorn, bitch?
I don't know if we should have gone that far or not.
What?
But
do you speak English?
But I don't know. The message of this movie I really like. Yes. It's just the main character. I just found it hard to get into it because of her, which is kind of harsh to say, because she's a big deal and she directed it. So So and it's not that she was bad. No, there's nothing bad about it. I just didn't think it fit.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what they were going for with that character, but it pulled me out, because like in some scenes she's like completely out of this world, flowers and dancing and saying crazy things. Mm-hmm. Other scenes she just looks like she's gonna beat the living shit out of you.
Yeah, and I didn't understand why she kept telling people. I don't know, if I was getting a unicorn, I wouldn't tell anybody I was getting a unicorn until I got it.
Exactly,
because everyone's gonna think you're crazy.
Yes. So, and she couldn't seem to grasp that. Like that was like she get pissed that people were like, I off the handle. Yeah, I don't know. Kit needed some help. But let's go through the characters, I guess. We kind of did briefly, but her boss, you mentioned him. Mm-hmm. Is it Himesh Linklater? Yeah, that guy played Gary. Kind of a sexual harassment waiting to happen.
But he never really completely goes there.
No.
Because he's so weird and off-putting, you don't know if he is or if he isn't.
And that's how he played it. He played it like skating that line.
Except for the smelling of the hair thing. Didn't he smell her hair?
Yeah.
I imagine. I'm pretty sure he did. I guess that's pretty strange. That's probably nobody wants that to happen.
And he kept giving her raises, or not raises, but bumping her, giving her from printer girl to desk jockey to an office to
But there's some foreshadowing there. We were all warned that she was just the next one, because the other girl came in and warned her. It was like, you don't think you're special. You're just. Yeah. So we should have been able to predict what was going to happen towards the end, which. Yeah,
she should have been able to predict.
I didn't predict that presentation, but I did predict him being the jerk, and then going with I'd prefer to see a sexy model in lingerie pushing a vacuum cleaner, which makes no sense to me. No. I'd rather see the whimsical thing. That makes sense, but I don't understand. But that part does fit the movie because it's like trying to change the idea of these people, like corporate America. You can't change everything to fit what you believe. I mean, you're off doing your own little thing, being whimsical. I mean, the rest of the world isn't necessarily on board.
Just to you, yeah.
So that was kind of it made sense for it to be in there that way, but it would have been nice to I guess I'm just rooting for the underdog here.
See, yeah, and that's why I but that's why I enjoy what this was trying to say. Like, you can be yourself, but you know, there is a time and a place for it, kind of like roughly what this was saying, you know, like, because she could have been herself perfectly, like, fine. She found a guy who was willing to accept her goofy self, you know, and her family, if she would have just opened up to them more, would have accepted her goofy self, which was a big point at one point, because like Samuel kept asking her, "Are you cool with your family?" You know, on the phone. So I don't know. Is it?
What do you think the ultimate message of this movie was?
See, I want to say be yourself, but then I'm conflicted because she didn't quite stay true to herself the entire time. But in the end, she reluctantly was herself, right?
Right.
What about you?
It's basically the same thing. Be yourself and follow your dreams. You know, it's
you'll hit some bumps in the road.
Yeah, embrace that. It's okay to embrace your inner child, but what I was thinking as an adult, the whole movie where you're not thinking like, just grow up and do you know what I mean? Like, because it's fine. You want to embrace your inner child. I do. I watch, you know, stuff that most adults don't watch. I still watch cartoons and anime and crazy stuff like that. But I go to work every day. You know, I take my responsibilities seriously and have fun when I'm off of work. So I was thinking the same thing for her. Why don't you just be? I mean, you can be yourself, but
even you can be that person at work. Like, you may be the person everyone snickers at when they walk by, but you're still you. You know, and you're. That's kind of what I am.
That can't be possible. But I don't know. I had conflicting views about the ultimate message to it because part of me was like, grow up.
But I think the other part, her big speech in her presentation was supposed to be the drive home of it, but it kind of didn't. I don't know. It kind of didn't stick.
Yeah, a lot of it I thought was just self-healing. Like, be okay with yourself. Maybe she wasn't okay with herself. She was too busy thinking about what other people thought. Like, she got kicked out of art school is because those critics didn't like her art. And I don't think you should be worried about what other people think. You should be worried about what you think,
especially
about yourself.
At age.
You know, just being true to yourself. Yeah. I would have thought that would have been like a better message to drive home. Because
it was a shitty opinion.
Because. But in the end, you know, it's like the guy, whoever this guy was, we got to talk about Samuel L. Jackson's character. Was he like an angel? Was he God?
You know what? I was trying my hardest to figure that out, but I can't, like, and I wanted to say a figment of her imagination, but
then at the end, it proves that but at the end, because the other lady
and the guy, like,
finally sees.
So it's like, I don't fucking know. Like,
I don't think it was. I mean, I think for each person, and like for the lady that was walking up at the end, it could have been like a teddy bear store or something. It might not have been a unicorn store. It might have been a fairy store, or
because he was trying to give her happiness.
Yeah, it's whatever you think you want. Yeah, but then you realize the thing that you think you want isn't really what going to make you happy. Yeah. So I feel like what his ultimate thing was, he was trying to make her realize that pretend thing that you think you want, you need to be able to say that's just that, and it's not important. But what is important is all the things that he made her go through to get that thing.
And she gained a life that way outside of that pretend thing that she thought she wanted. Like, she gained a friend. She gained better work relationships. Like, friends at work, liked her. She actually invented the backpack, which I thought was pretty cool. So like,
you can still be yourself, but be grounded too. I think there was like a combination of the two things. But that's what I got out of it.
He was teaching her, like, you need to build a house, like basically find a place to lay your head. You need to be financially stable to feed the unicorn. Basically, you got to be able to feed yourself and pay for the bills and stuff. So, which motivated her to work better, at work harder for work, and then I forget the last one. But yeah, so he was teaching her life lessons, like you said, just in a weird roundabout imaginative way. But at the same time, he was literally preparing her for the unicorn. Because what if she was like, "Okay, you're coming home with me, unicorn"?
Right. I don't think that would have ever gotten to that point. If she was at the point where she really thought she needed to bring a unicorn home, I think he wouldn't have been there. Sure. Just like when Virgil showed up the first time and there was nothing there. I think he was waiting for her to finally be okay with who she is and comfortable with life. And then he'd be like, "Okay, here's this thing that you think you want. Guess what? You don't really want it, do you?" "No, because you're happy." Plow.
So what, Robert?
What's up?
Took that fucking unicorn off.
You'd have wrote it, huh? Yeah.
Would you have turned down a unicorn?
I would have probably turned down. Because I would have been like, "Oh,
Sting's job."
Because I love the movie.
Infinite happiness.
First of all, I would never want a unicorn. That wouldn't be the thing that would make me happy. But
But he said what they do is give you infinite happiness. It's not just that you want it to be happy.
Yeah, but he also said you got to take care of it. You got to love it. If you don't have enough love to give it, it's going to perish or something.
That's true.
So it's like a double-edged sword there. It's like, this thing will give you happiness, but if you don't love it back as much, it's going to die. So that's kind of a scary thought.
Like, imagine you hop on that bad boy, you grab its horn, and you like Hellboy. You get all bigger, a crown comes on your head.
I can't picture that. Don't want to picture it.
And instead of the earth cracking open, like rainbows come down and
little shoot out everywhere.
Little happy Care Bears are bouncing.
Then you're just tripping on acid. You didn't really get a unicorn. He just gave you some drugs.
That's true.
Did you like his outfit?
Samuel L.
Yeah, his outfits. Did you like that he had tinsel in his hair, or was it garland?
Yeah, it was garland. I don't know.
That distracted me a lot.
I think you said it right though. He was like a manifestation of herself. Because when he would have his crazy wild out moments, but at the same time he'll quickly snap on you, Mm-hmm. But I think you're right there. He's like because I did love when she finally embraced her own clothes. It's like, I didn't know we were supposed to wear a costume. This is my costume. This is my clothes.
I did like that scene.
Yeah. It had a lot of fun scenes in it. It's not a bad movie. I don't know. And like I said, I enjoyed just about every scene Virgil was in because he has this attitude that I like.
He seemed really genuine.
Yeah,
I know he was acting, but just his performance just seemed like it was a real person. It's like it wasn't like somebody acting something. It was somebody really being, which I guess is the ultimate compliment. You seemed like a real person.
Yeah,
it wasn't even like he was acting. It was just that was him. That's weird.
Agreed. Let's go to Rotten Tomatoes and see what they gave this movie. Oh my goodness, 61% tomato meter, 45% fans.
Mm-hmm. Audience.
Yeah.
So yeah. Are you surprised it was that high on the?
I am. I don't think it deserves to be rotten or anything like that, but like that's pretty good for a Netflix movie.
It's got huge. It's got Brie and it's got Samuel L.
Yeah, and she's on top of the road right now. So, go ahead, Captain Marvel. Do you have your business?
Mm-hmm.
Captain Marvel.
She's about to be in Endgame.
Yes.
Which is scoring pretty high so far from what I see. So
96, 98.
Looking forward to that.
That'll be next week's for sure. Go watch or not, sir.
Oh, this is a tough one. This is really hard. I say go watch mainly for the message, not for. I hate to say it, for her performance.
Not for Captain Marvel.
Because I just wasn't loving her performance, but for the message behind the movie, I think it's great. The supporting actors are great. There's some funny moments. It is on Netflix, so you don't have to run out anywhere. You can just pop it on right now if you wanted to, if you have Netflix. So I say go watch.
Yeah, I mean, amazing. I don't know if this is her directorial debut, but I think it was a great job. You know, she got everyone else to do what they needed to do. And yeah, I'll go ahead and second what you said. I think the message was pure. The message was there. Great movie to talk about, if anything else. So for sure, go watch for me as well. Yeah, this will be a short one, apparently, because I mean, there's not a lot about this movie. But yeah, other than some amazing outfits from her that I may mimic.
Okay.
that shimmy one, when she turned around in slow motion and all those tassels just whipped around, I was like, there we go, I'm getting that suit.
Well, you will be that guy at work then when you show up in that.
Where you can find us, GoWatchAMovie.com, the one-stop shop for all things entertainment. Some of the trailers we mentioned are on there now. Gemini Man, I know is. I'll get the other two up there. Yeah, the podcast is on there, but the podcast can also be found on iTunes, Spotify, and all those other things, anywhere a podcast can be found. That's all for today. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Go get a unicorn, people.